we have a positive response from Hamas. That positive response, according to what we know, is almost all that was agreed before by Israel in previous iterations of these talks. We are yet to receive a response from the Israeli side, so we cannot make any claims that a breakthrough has been made. But we do believe it is a positive point when we have a positive response from Hamas over the agreement that was there on the table since a couple of months ago.
Could there be a solution to the Israel-Gaza war? The answer lies in a new ceasefire deal currently on the table, brokered by key mediators.
There are elements to the plan. There are elements that would kick off relatively, quickly. Well, we hope that would happen, like aid going in, the redeployment of Israeli forces, and obviously the ceasefire. There are other elements which would take time to implement within a timeline that's been specified in the plan, like the exchange of prisoners and hostages. But the important thing here is that if we get to a deal, it shouldn't be expected that it would be instantaneously implemented, that it would need some time to reach implementation, like what happened with previous ceasefires. So we're not there yet, of course, we're still waiting for the Israeli response.
For over 10 days, a ceasefire proposal has been under consideration, with countries like Qatar and Egypt playing pivotal roles in negotiations. Hamas has agreed to the latest terms, which include a temporary cessation of military operations for 60 days, during which the Israeli army would relocate to allow the entry of humanitarian aid. In return, Hamas would release half of the 50 hostages taken during the October 7, 2023 attack.
Israel wants a full and complete deal that brings all of them home. We very much appreciate the efforts of mediating countries, and we are certainly looking into any move that leads to a release of the hostages and the meeting of the goals of this war. I can tell you that there is an Egyptian team who's willing to engage in these negotiations, and that that issue is currently being assessed. But be in no doubt, we want a complete deal. There is no explanation, there is no justification for any of our hostages being held for one day more.
The proposal, however, faces significant hurdles. The Israeli government, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, is adamant about eradicating Hamas completely and insists on retaining full control over Gaza. Netanyahu has stated that the conflict must end in Gaza, with all hostages released and the region no longer posing a threat to Israel.
אנחנו באים עכשיו מישיבת קבינט, אז אני לא חושב שאני יכול להרחיב יותר מדי, אבל להגיד דבר אחד. זה התחיל בעזה וזה ייגמר בעזה. אנחנו לא נשאיר את המפלצות האלה שם, אנחנו נשחרר את כל חטופינו, אנחנו נדאג שעזה לא תהווה יותר איום על ישראל.
The insistence on a comprehensive victory has stalled progress on the ceasefire, as Israel seeks the return of all hostages. The lack of agreement has sparked widespread protests. Thousands have taken to the streets, demanding a ceasefire that would free the remaining hostages and end the war. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum declared a national day of struggle, with demonstrations across the country, including major rallies in Tel Aviv and near the Prime Minister's office in Jerusalem.
Today is a day of resistance, calling the Israeli government to seal the deal that's now on the table and to bring all the hostages home and to end the war in Gaza. The majority of the Israeli people want the end of the suffering of the hostages and the people in Gaza. We're calling also upon the leader of the world, the leaders of the free world, and President Trump to help us end this terrible tragedy, to end the war, ceasefire now, and the return of all the 50 hostages back home.
יש הצעה לעסקה על השולחן שחמאס כבר אמר לה כן. האמריקאים רוצים שהחטופים יחזרו. הרמטכ"ל אומר שחייבים ללכת עכשיו לעסקה. העם, אתם, כל אחד מכם, כאן בכיכר, במהלך היום בצמתים, בכל מקום במספרים אדירים, כולם צועקים איתנו, כולם רוצים את החטופים בבית.
A growing divide is engulfing Israel, as far-right coalition members threaten to resign if a truce is agreed upon, complicating Netanyahu's position. Meanwhile, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza worsens, with over 62,000 Palestinian deaths reported, half of whom are women and children, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. The war, triggered by Hamas's attack that killed approximately 1,200 and abducted 251, has seen most hostages released in previous ceasefires, but 50 remain, with around 20 believed to be alive. The current situation in Gaza is dire, with Palestinians facing severe hunger and displacement. Israeli troops remain in Gaza, continuing operations aimed at dismantling Hamas, despite the humanitarian toll. The ceasefire deal, if accepted, could alleviate some of this suffering, but without agreement, the conflict's toll continues to rise.